Hey guys. So, title, I'm not saying that this is the end of Ganondorf. Um, he's such an iconic villain. I hope it's not, but we haven't seen Ganondorf as the villain in a game for 17 years. Ganondorf's last canonical appearance was in Twilight Princess. He was in Hyrule Warriors, but that was more like a little spin-off game. If I recall, it's not, canon. So 17 years, 2006 is when Twilight Princess came out, and that was the last time we've had to fight the King of Evil. So this is a huge occasion, a momentous occasion for not only Zelda fans, but Ganondorf. The guy's been imprisoned longer than he's ever been. I think in the adult timeline that leads to Wind Waker, it was only, what, 100 years? The child timeline where he gets sent to the Twilight realm, about the same, probably about 100 something years. Here, it's been what, 10,000 plus years? So the Calamity was only about 100 years old. We saw the Calamity. That's when Link gets put into the Shrine of Resurrection, where other champions die. But Ganondorf himself has been sealed there for about 10,000 years. So his return is probably going to be the biggest one. Uh, so therefore, it's safe to say that the final battle is going to be the biggest that we've had so far since Twilight Princess, which had 4 parts, which amazing. 2 of parts were in Hyrule Castle. You fight against Zelda being taken over by him. You fight Dark Beast Ganon, and then you're on horseback fighting him in Hyrule Field, shooting arrows at him. And then there's the final head-to-head, one-on-one duel with the King of Evil himself right in front of the castle. And I mean, what can top that? This, because the guy's waited for 10,000 years for this. So I think they might be trying to put Ganondorf away. You have instances where you have like the villain, the main villain. Think about like Kingdom Hearts. You have Master Xehanort. The whole reason each game happens is because of Master Xehanort. But then by Kingdom Hearts 3, his story is done. We defeat him, he dies essentially, and his story is done. If you play World of Warcraft, same thing. You have Sargeras, the Burning Legion. The Burning Legion that's chased, like Velen and people like that around for thousands of years. Now suddenly he's pretty much under house arrest and he's stuck in the seat of the Pantheon as a prisoner. So his story has pretty much ended. Ganondorf, I think his story is possibly going to end. I think that Nintendo might want to try to move on to different villains. I mean, as amazing as Vadi and Majora are, Ganondorf is the most recognizable villain. Not just in the series, but of any video game. If you say Ganon, most people know who Ganon is. It's like Mario. It's like, Bowser, Ganon, because he's been around since the beginning. The very first game, who did you fight against? Ganon. The second game, who are you trying to stop from being revived? Ganon. You have the Oracle of Ages and Seasons games. Who is Twinrova trying to revive? Ganon. Hell, even in Link's Awakening, he's on Koholint Island. Who makes an appearance as a nightmare? You guessed it, Ganon. So he's appeared, and we'll talk about this because I'm going to talk about how and what I hope this final battle is. And a lot of people are thinking the same thing, which. So, first, I want to talk about the parallel between Skyward Sword and Tears of the Kingdom. So, first, for the nerds, you'll remember this line: "In a realm beyond sight, the sky shines gold, not blue. There the Triforce's might makes mortal dreams come true." Um, Now, I don't think we'll be seeing the Triforce in Tears of the Kingdom, but you do know what we do see, a realm beyond sight. And funnily enough, do you know how the Sacred Realm was portrayed? What do you know? By a bunch of floating islands. And this is back in the day. This was like Link to the Past, and you've got structure right there, like a temple. But and then we have Link between worlds. What do you know? This Sacred Realm, floating islands. So, are we actually in the Sacred Realm? I don't think so. But if you look at the islands, now remember, in a realm beyond sight, which these islands are in fact beyond sight, the sky shines gold, not blue. Well, if you're a mortal and you're walking and you happen to catch a glimpse of this area, what are you going to see? Think about what it looks like. The treetops are gold, the grass is gold, the hill, the mountaintops are gold, and it stretches throughout the sky. So you could say that the sky shines gold, not blue. So they're really taking a parallel with the Sacred Realm and how legendary or majestic this place is. But again, with Skyward Sword, this place was unseen for ages, you know, because of this magic cloud barrier, and we see the dragons going through this magic cloud barrier. Um, in Skyward Sword, if you look at the sky, you just see sky. But when you're in Skyloft and you're looking down, you just see clouds all around you. But yeah, funny how the Sacred Realm is portrayed as a bunch of floating islands. But they say something in here in the comments that I actually was thinking about today. Wouldn't it be fantastic and a beautiful send-off for Ganondorf to end this, to end Ganondorf where it all started? So, Skyward Sword, you have the goddess Hylia. She has her champions of different races. You see where I'm going with this? She has her chosen champion. We see him as Link. I'm sure back then she had a champion who probably looked like Link. And she faced off against Demise and his army. Well, now we have Zelda, who is with champions, Link, her chosen champion, and she's now going to be facing off against Ganondorf, who, for a split second in the trailer, we see to be looking very much like Demise. Very big, very bulky, the long, flowing hair. So what if this person that we see is in fact Zelda, but taking on the form of Hylia? That Zelda somehow absorbs or is given so much divine energy from Hylia that her body changes momentarily for a short span of time into the goddess herself. Now, it's not actually the goddess, but she's taking on the form of the goddess. Um, Again, I think in the first video I said think of like Riku and Roxas in Kingdom Hearts. When Roxas is fighting Riku, Riku's losing. He delves deeper into darkness and takes on the form of Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. He hasn't. It's not the actual person, but he's taking on the appearance. So what if she takes on the form of, presumably, possibly, Goddess Hylia? What if Ganondorf takes in or releases so much hatred and malice that he takes on the form of Demise? So this whole game can end. Ganondorf can end where it all started. The final battle, Zelda, her champions, her chosen champion, Link, against Ganondorf, his army, just as it was thousands upon thousands of years ago with Hylia and Demise. Because all of this was because of that first battle. So wouldn't it just be beautifully poetic to finish Ganondorf where it all started. The fight, the final fight between Goddess Hylia and Demise. And for the fight, she takes on the form of Hylia, because that's who most people think that is. It's Hylia. We also see another character who, for people who are savvy in the games, the character, I'm not going to tell you their name, but this character has had his name referenced. They've been shown a few times in different games, but their name first appeared in Adventure of Link as a town, and then a game not too long after that, I think. Game, oh, I don't know, maybe around 1997, 1998. Yeah, yeah, the strange creature. Yeah, that's his name. Um, I'm not saying the name, but I think we're gonna see some past events. I think we might see Zelda harnessing the power of the goddess. And again, wouldn't it be amazing for the final showdown to finish Ganondorf off? Because after this battle, there's nothing they can do that should top this. This guy has waited 10,000 plus years to come back. So this has to be the be all end all of battles. Um so and actually, like I said, some people agree. My vote is Goddess Hylia communing with her descendant reincarnation. Definitely it. But them morphing into their former selves, Ganon Demise, Link Zonai character, goat thing, power in Power Rangers type transformation like Zelda Hylia would be epic. Zelda's transforming back into her original appearance as Hylia, who is the mysterious figure depicted on the mural. Definitely either Hylia herself or one of Zelda's ancestors. My theory is that it's Hylia. It's Zelda and it's Hylia. We learn in Skyward Sword that they are essentially one and the same. The mystery woman is Zelda after her transfiguration back into Hylia is complete. So you have a lot of people thinking that this is in fact Hylia, or the appearance of Hylia. So would it be safe to assume that maybe Link does have some kind of transfiguration into a different appearance? But again, that would mean Ganondorf would have to take on the appearance of Demise. And again, wouldn't it be something that the end of Ganondorf takes place in this game with the people where it all started? So yes, it's Zelda, but in the form of Hylia, goddess Hylia. Demise, Ganondorf, but looking like Demise. Because Skyward Sword is the first in the story, and the events of Hylia and Demise take place long before that. So this game would finish at the start, so that this thousands upon tens of thousands of years, this battle would finally end. Would that be the end of the cycle of hatred? I don't know. Do I think Nintendo would do that? Maybe, if they have some cool ideas for some new villains. You know, I know they don't like to throw away villains, hence why Bowser's been around for so long. Ridley in Metroid. Um, so there's just some villains that are just so well known that you don't really want to get rid of them, but you're kind of limiting yourself to what you can do, because it's like, oh boy, we get to see Ganondorf. But then the next game, oh, they're trying to revive Ganon. Yippee. So also keep in mind, because same headpiece, same earrings. They're essentially wearing the exact same uh, clothing. Hence why people think this is Zelda, but in the appearance of Hylia, because it's the exact same thing. They're wearing the exact same thing. Um, but there's just so many things. Like I said, between the Sacred Realm, funny how they're all floating islands. You got some things back there. You know, this was Link Between Worlds. You can see a blue sky. Um, but I think this might be the end of Ganondorf. You know, the guy's waited 10,000 years. There's nothing that can top this final battle. There's nothing. There's nothing that Nintendo could do. Because we again 17 years. Ganondorf as a villain has not been utilized for 17 years. You really think it's going to play some small part? No, they're going to utilize him to the fullest capacity. So this Ganondorf, when he comes back, he's going to be darker. He's going to be eviler. He's going to be stronger. So this should be the final confrontation with him. Would I like to see Ganondorf go? Of course not. He's one of my favorite villains. But if it makes way for new villains, you know, maybe more Vadi type villains. Vadi is amazing. Would love to see Majora, but he's not coming back. You know, they're not coming back anytime soon. Um, but what do you guys think? Do you think this will be the end of Ganondorf? Do you think that, you know, it's possible that we're going to see the conclusion of the battle that started ages ago? Because they didn't defeat him. They didn't defeat Demise. They sealed him. So could we finally see the demise of Demise? All that hatred and all this stuff happening. Could we finally see the death of it? Do you think them reverting to it's possible, or do you think these are separate characters? Also, congratulations if you got the character's name. And you're probably sitting wondering why that song. Well, remember who that song. Remember who it's attached to. Not hard to figure out that person's name. But yeah, let me know below. Anyway, you guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.